I don't think that's not my place, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control. So I'm not even gonna think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, there's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So,
Shedeur is. We know who he is, what type of player and person that he is. But yesterday, Shedeur Sanders dropped a tweet, and the world went.
Like Shedeur Sanders just made an incredible announcement. It looked like Shedeur Sanders has broken his silence, man. We know the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns has not really been online that much this season. Shedeur has definitely been locked in. Well, I'm here to tell you, he took to Twitter today to drop a perfect.
As the son of a preacher, as a preacher's kid, as a child that has lived multiple facets of life, that has done a lot of wrong and a lot of right.
Shedeur Sanders just broke his silence. And wow, it wasn't some calm, cliche, I'm staying humble speech. This man came in blazing hotter than Deion's pregame shades. People have been whispering for weeks about why he's been sitting out. And now Shedeur's laying it all out, straight, unfiltered, and just a touch petty. From locker room whispers to coach's so-called favorites, he's exposing the kind of drama that turns team meetings into soap operas. This isn't just football anymore, it's personal. Grab your popcorn, because the Cleveland Browns have managed to turn a quarterback controversy into a full-blown identity crisis. The same franchise that once believed Johnny Manziel was a long-term investment is now shuffling quarterbacks like it's an episode of
He is fighting for his job life by trying to cling to Dillon Gabriel, who was his choice to go forward with, because he took him 50 slots higher than Shedeur went in the 5th round. So Stefanski knows if he gives in to Shedeur, I think he's a goner. Like that's going to be the end of him, because he's dug in internally with the owner and the GM that he just wants no part of Shedeur. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like the way he handles himself. He doesn't like the way he carries himself in the locker room and the social media and all those things that nobody liked about him.
Who wants to waste a franchise talent. And right at the center of this Cleveland circus sits Shedeur Sanders, calm, focused, and somehow more mature than the chaos spinning around him. You'd think the Browns would have learned their lesson by now. Every few years, they find a golden arm, build him up like a savior, and then light the whole thing on fire with the same trust, the process nonsense they've been selling for decades. But not Shedeur. He's not lighting matches or begging for minutes. No tantrums, no passive-aggressive posts, just a quiet confidence that screams, I know what's coming. He looks like a man who already got the memo from the football gods. Relax, your time's coming. They just haven't caught up yet. See, Shedeur Sanders isn't just another quarterback waiting for a shot. He's the storm behind the glass, the one sitting in the back seat on a long drive, watching the chaos, knowing he could steer better, but letting the driver learn the hard way. While the coaches overthink and the analysts
over a long time does make a big difference, though. Especially if you're not a first-round quarterback. No, if you're just a rookie.
I mean, I'd
you're
like
in a
to see
position
him
to play.
I'd like to see him have the opportunity to go through some of those reps just from the speed component to it all. I think there's an obvious advantage to that. It's going to be better than him just sitting on the sidelines. But again, this speaks to them putting all their eggs in the Dillon Gabriel basket with the idea that they think it's more valuable for Dillon to get all of them, and they just don't have enough reps.
Argue. Shedeur's out here perfecting the art of divine patience. And let's be real, patience is something the Browns couldn't spell, even if you spotted them the first 6 letters. This whole situation isn't just about play calling or locker room politics, it's way deeper than that. It's a spiritual test, dressed up as a football season. While everyone else is counting stats and snaps, Shedeur Sanders is out here counting blessings. The man isn't just waiting for his number to be called, he's letting faith handle the playbook. And honestly, that might be the scariest thing imaginable for Cleveland's front office. How do you manage a player who refuses to let stress live rent-free in his head?
If that's not what you're trying to do, don't get me. If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me.
You know this city loves football. I think you probably have felt that since you've been drafted.
Yeah.
That is what this city is about, the Cleveland Browns. What's kind of that reception been like for you from the fans?
It been extremely well, I would say. I understand. Really, I feel like the Browns fans, they just want something to hope for, and they've been wanting it so long. So finally, I'm here to change that. I'm here to,
Shedeur isn't up at 2 a.m., scrolling through social media for validation or dropping subliminals about coaches. He's not turning interviews into emotional therapy sessions full of cryptic metaphors. Nah, he's smiling, showing up early, training like every day's game day, and walking out like a man who already knows how the movie ends. And spoiler alert, he wins. But the Browns brass. They can't process that kind of peace. They're used to panic energy, to quarterbacks who come in wide-eyed, desperate to fix 40 years of bad football karma. They expect someone to crack under the pressure, not someone who turns it into power. But Shedeur doesn't carry that baggage. He's locked in on the bigger mission, the one that stretches past the 50-yard line and deep into destiny territory. When he talks about trusting God, it's not some polished or church talk to sound humble. He lives it every single day, and that's rare in this league.
And again, it does not bother me in any sort of large way, but what it does speak to is they continue to put all of the eggs in the Dillon Gabriel basket. And they have not been shy about that in any sort of way. And that's it's not surprising to me. No part of this is surprising because this is how they've treated Dillon the entire time. He's always gotten the favorite child treatment, the golden child treatment, and that's okay. They've decided to do that. But to what you're saying, then you have to be right about this guy, and he's got to be better than what you've seen. And again, do I think Shedeur, when he wins the job eventually, is going to turn around and be like, oh, thank goodness I had those 10% of reps as the back? No, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. That's why I'm not.
Think about it. While the Cleveland executives are busy running analytics on fourth down conversions, Shedeur's out here running faith analytics. He's calculating his piece per prayer ratio, logging gratitude reps like film study, and winning battles most people can't even see. The Browns could use some of that energy. Maybe if their front office trusted the divine half as much as they trust their spreadsheets, they wouldn't keep fumbling their own future every few seasons. But Shedeur? He's built different. He knows disrespect when he feels it, but he also knows when to let it slide. Shedeur Sanders could easily light up social media with one slick, passive-aggressive Instagram story and have every sports show melting down before breakfast, but he doesn't. Instead, he keeps his head down, smiles through the noise, and lets his actions and his timing speak for him. That's what makes him dangerous. And here's the wild part. The Browns have no idea how to handle peace. This franchise operates best in chaos. It's practically a team tradition. The second things start to calm down, they find a new way to light another fire. It's like they're allergic to stability. So when Shedeur walks in cool, calm, and collected, refusing to feed the drama machine, the whole system short circuits. Cleveland's front office runs on emotional fuel.
This is Shedeur essentially saying, I'm done fighting. In every way. I'm done fighting.
Waving a white flag?
I'm done fighting with the media. I'm done fighting with my coaches. I'm done fighting with Rex Ryan on Get Up. I'm done fighting with y'all on social media. I'm done fighting. Because whenever somebody brings up, like he said, the true success is built on God and God's the one who can open all these doors. Is this Shedeur James Jones kind of just saying I'm
controversy, panic, desperation? But Shedeur, his tank runs on something totally different. It's not adrenaline, it's faith. While everyone else is dissecting every stat and snap, he's mastering patience like a man who's already seen the script play out. Sitting on the bench doesn't break him, it builds him. To him, this isn't a setback. It's setup season. Every play he doesn't take right now is just charging the moment when he finally steps in and flips the narrative for good. Every whisper from the media just becomes another clip for the future highlight reel. You can already picture it. The slow motion warm-ups, the dramatic voiceovers about untapped potential, the gospel music swelling in the background. Then boom, touchdown, destiny confirmed. And the best part, everyone who doubted him will pretend they always believed. Meanwhile, up in the executive box, the Browns are probably holding another strategy meeting, which in Cleveland usually means 12 people.
Learn through it all is to not worry, but lean on and trust God in every situation. Even when I don't know what to do, I've learned that God will always guide. What Shedeur Sanders stated, a profound message from rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. Now, we know he has been going through trials and tribulations since pretty much the draft night, man. For this young man to still be focused, not letting anything bother him, not letting anything tear his ship down. I commend Shedeur as a fan and definitely as a supporter of his. I want him to keep doing what he's doing. His time will come, and boy, oh boy, it's always going to be.
Nodding in confusion while the owner stares at an old scouting report like it's a Sudoku puzzle. It's comedy at this point. But Shedeur isn't fazed. Every rep, every quiet workout after practice, every film session in the dark, it's sharpening him. You can see it in his body language, in that laser focus, in the subtle grin when reporters bring up competition. That smirk isn't arrogance, it's assurance. The Browns are busy making depth charts, while Shedeur Sanders is out here building destiny charts. They're planning a season, but he's planning a legacy. And when those two worlds collide, because they will, it's going to be beautiful chaos. The kind of redemption Cleveland hasn't felt since LeBron came home. Because eventually, no matter how hard they try to delay it, talent forces recognition. You can't hide a diamond forever. Even the most confused front office eventually realizes they've been sitting on a once-in-a-generation competitor, a guy who handles adversity like a monk.
The narrative around Shedeur Sanders is changing. And Shedeur Sanders dropped a tweet yesterday, made the internet go berserk. But we're going to talk about it real quick. And I told y'all the Browns starting to switch up. Everybody getting ready for Shedeur. But I'm finna
in cleats. And when that moment hits, all the noise, all the disrespect, all the media chatter will disappear faster than a Cleveland playoff run. Shedeur's maturity isn't passive, it's power disguised as patience. He's not blind to the politics, he's evolved past them. While others chase headlines and attention, he's mastering silence. They expect ego, he brings discipline. They expect anger, he brings calm. They want reaction, he delivers revelation. It's like watching chaos wrestle serenity, and serenity doesn't even break a sweat. You can feel the tension starting to build, the subtle kind that only real believers notice. Coaches start to sense the energy shift. Reporters lean in, looking for cracks that aren't there. Fans whisper, wondering how long the front office can keep pretending not to see it. That's how it begins, quiet, almost invisible, until momentum takes over and flips the whole script. The guy they benched becomes the story they can't escape. That's the true power of patience. It doesn't shout, it just waits, then dominates. And soon,
y'all know our guy, that guy, him, Mr. Sanders. Currently, the backup quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, right behind Lil Dilly. You know, we got to give Dilly his respect because he is the starting quarterback. Only because this man, Kevin Stefanski, has a whole lot of faith in something that we just can't see.
the same people asking if he's ready will be asking how they ever kept him off the field. Eventually, the Browns will realize what they thought was a passive attitude was actually a masterclass in control. Shedeur doesn't chase moments, he creates them. And when his moment comes, it's going to make every ounce of Cleveland's indecision look like pure amateur hour. They could have avoided all this, sure, but come on, this is Cleveland. They can't resist a little self-sabotage. They're allergic to simple solutions. Give them peace, they'll pick drama. Give them talent, They'll manufacture tension, hand them a quarterback who's spiritually grounded, and they'll call it lack of urgency. That's Cleveland's curse. They mistake calm for weakness when it's really just power under control. And that's Shedeur Sanders, grounded, unbothered, divinely patient, and completely ready. The Browns can play politics all they want, shuffle quarterbacks like it's a committee vote, and act like the depth chart is a democracy. But when purpose decides it's go time, it doesn't wait for permission. It just walks onto the field, straps up, and flips the entire story. The Browns might think they're controlling the situation.
Going to be the guy going forward. Shedeur Sanders didn't get in the game when they were up 31-6. Yeah. It was game over. Yeah. They were up 31-6, and then if y'all remember in the loss 2 weeks prior, Shedeur didn't get into the game when they were losing clearly and handedly. Yeah. I think Shedeur just now realizes the Browns don't want me to play. They are not playing me under any circumstance.
Yeah. The Dolphins had their backup in the game. Why would you not?
Correct.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Well, that's because Shedeur's a different.
But really, they're just delaying the inevitable. Destiny doesn't do waiting lists. No matter how long they try to hold him back, Shedeur's story has already been written, and not by Cleveland. This script's been authored by something way bigger than football, way bigger than front offices, and if you've been paying attention, you already know how it ends. It doesn't end with bitterness or revenge. It ends with victory. A win laced with peace, powered by purpose, and wrapped in that calm confidence only a Sanders carries. While the world scrambles for answers, Shedeur's already found his in the simplest truth of all.
Or, I promise you, that stadium and that team and that offense, whether it goes great or it doesn't, at very least you're going to get the Jackson Dart effect that the Giants had.
That's a good.
In New York, where they said, all right, we got a shot. I believe in this guy.
And you got to do it at home right now. You got a home game.
A winnable home.
It's a winnable home game. If Dylan do play, the crowd going to come in the game like, if Shedeur plays, it's going to be lit up in there.
Yeah, it will be.
You know what I'm saying?
It will be.
Defense going to come fly around. Man, it's the perfect time to start you a little streak if you want to start you.
God's got it. You'd think after all the heartbreak, somebody in that Cleveland building would finally say, maybe we should stop forcing it. But nope, they're still tinkering, still second guessing, still treating generational talent like a puzzle they can't quite solve. Meanwhile, Shedeur's just vibing, steady, peaceful, consistent, and completely unbothered, while the franchise keeps playing chess with chaos. He's sitting at the center of it all like a man who already knows the outcome. Because when your faith is stronger than their confusion, there's no competition. You can't stress someone who already surrendered control to something bigger. That's the secret that makes him truly dangerous. Not just his arm, not just his accuracy, but his peace. That kind of calm doesn't crack under pressure. It absorbs it. Every snub, every slight, every not yet from the coaching staff becomes quiet fuel. And here's the irony. The Browns think they're testing his patience, but really he's testing theirs. And make no mistake, when Shedeur Sanders finally gets his moment, it's not going to feel like a debut. It's going to feel like a correction. All the waiting, all the noise, all the debates about system fit and readiness will fade into background static the second those lights hit the field. Because when that time comes, Shedeur won't just be stepping into a position, he'll be stepping straight into purpose. The kind of purpose that doesn't shout, doesn't beg, and doesn't break. It just shows up, executes, and lets destiny handle the victory lap. That's what makes this story different. This isn't hype, it's alignment. And when that moment arrives, Cleveland won't just have a quarterback. They'll have a revelation, a reminder that patience pays, peace wins, and purpose always shows up on time. If you're feeling this story, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps more than you think. And trust me, you'll want to be here when destiny finally takes the field.